Hello, it's me again. Thank you everyone for giving me such great feedback from my first lore video on YouTube. I'm just so excited to do more, I can't wait, so let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about Malenia, Miquella, and Mohg. Oh my god, all the M's. So if you don't want to know anything about the boss fight and the lore, please click off now. So firstly, Malenia is actually called the Blade of Miquella in her first phase. You can see that's her subtitle. So we're going to get into exactly who Miquella is in this video. We can get a really good look at who Malenia is underneath all of her armor. You can see exactly what her prosthetics are, and you can actually see the extent of the rot that's taken over her body. So according to her remembrance, since the moment she was born, she suffered afflictions from birth. She harboured rot within. Over time, the rot has claimed her right arm, one whole leg, half of another, both of her eyes, both her feet, and more than likely, the damage has spread all the way inside her. This game is so good at going, oh wow, you're proud of being this boss? Well, they weren't even at their full potential, so don't get cocky. These prosthetics aren't considered an ailment or a disability for her, they're actually considered a strength. They are a symbol of her victories. Now here is where it gets good, the second phase. This scene is just, oh my god. When she rises from this flower that we've seen before in the cinematic with Radahn and herself. I just want to make note of the exact pose she is striking. She's clutching her prosthesis, she's holding herself inwards, hiding her body. This pose really reminds me of this particular piece of artwork, The Birth of Venus. The same stance, the same sort of modest appearance. The birth of this goddess, Venus, who inspires love, beauty, prosperity. And this strikes an exact opposite with Malenia. Death, decay, and suffering. She even says, "You will witness true horror. Now rot." And you see these butterflies come off, they're surrounding her. Butterflies are often synonymous with rebirth and transformation. This is Malenia's true form, and you can see her title changes in the second phase to Malenia, Goddess of Rot. A little bit of explanation as to what this flower is. It's called a Scarlet Aeonia. If you trade her remembrance, you can unlock this ability. Each time the scarlet flower blooms, Malenia's rot advances. It has bloomed twice already. With the third bloom, she'll become a true goddess. So this flower has bloomed once, it's bloomed twice with Radahn, and we are witness to the third and final time. When Malenia falls, when we defeat her, we hear her say,
"Oh, dearest Miquella, my brother, I'm sorry. I finally met my match."
This is quite a bittersweet ending for she who knew no defeat, as she was very proud of saying. But why exactly does she apologise? So the area that the boss fight takes place in actually has significance. Malenia was waiting here for Miquella. According to her helm, it says, Malenia awaited Miquella at the foot of the husk. My brother will keep his promise. He possesses the wisdom, the allure of a god. He's the most fearsome Empyrean of all. We have no idea how long she's been waiting here, but you can see at the beginning of the cutscene she's even put a chair there, she's taken off all of her armour, and she's holding out onto the tree, and she's waiting for Miquella to come. But where is he? Going back to the second phase cutscene, our character looks up at the tree and gazes into the roots, and what do we see in there? That looks like a face, with this long flowing hair. That is Miquella. Both of these children were cursed, one of them with the rot inside of them, and the other with eternal childhood. Now I don't know about you, but I don't know if I could survive in the world of Elden Ring, let alone if I was a poor defenseless little child. However, Miquella wanted to break this curse. He wanted to save himself and his sister. So in order to do this, they made the Halig tree. This tree had this energy, like the Erd tree, to utilise in order to break this curse. So Miquella was put inside of the tree to rest and grow there until he became free of his curse, and then by extension he would be able to heal his sister. According to this armour, this tree was watered with Miquella's own blood, but the Halig tree ultimately failed to grow into an Erd tree. Something went terribly wrong. Miquella was stolen from the tree by his own half-brother, Mohg. Now, I don't think Malenia knew that he'd been taken from the tree, as she was clearly waiting here, waiting for a sign that her brother had come back. That's why she says, "I'm sorry," when she dies. She couldn't wait for him any longer. What comes next with Mohg is a little bit disturbing, a little bit weird. This is what Miquella looks like now. I believe this is what was surrounding him while he was inside of the tree. Now this doesn't look like the arm of someone who's been cursed to be a child forever. So it's quite possible that Miquella was in the process of becoming an adult, freeing himself from the curse, which would explain why this arm, scale-wise, is quite large. The arm moves down, and we see this blood start to run down from it. But I don't think it's Miquella who's moving the arm. And then we see Mohg rise up from the pool of blood. Mohg quite aptly is named the Blood Lord. He's able to control blood. He has this power of wielding this accursed blood. But why did he take Miquella? As Malenia said, Miquella is an Empyrean. He has the potential to be the new god for the coming age. He has the potential to be the next ruler. Mohg knew this, but he didn't want Miquella to share this alone. He wanted a part of it. If you read the Remembrance, it says he wished to raise Miquella to full godhood. Mohg wished to become his consort, taking the role of monarch. But no matter how much of his bloody bedchamber he tried to share, he received no response from the young Empyrean. So if you don't know, consort can mean partner, spouse, lover. This has definitely got George R.R. Martin's name written all over it. So if Mohg is responsible for raising Miquella to this full god status, Mohg would be his advisor, he would be his consort, his partner, and then he can establish this dynasty that he keeps speaking of. But he also just seems completely obsessed, infatuated with Miquella, and there might be an explanation for this, aside from the more creepy one. According to this consumable, the Bewitching Branch, the Empyrean Miquella is loved by many people. Indeed, he has learned very well how to compel such affection. So somehow Miquella also has this ability to charm others, because that's what the consumable does, it's able to charm. It's a pretty useful ability to have, especially if you're stuck in the body of a child. What we're not clear on is whether Mohg's experiment actually worked. As Mohg's able to manipulate blood, as I theorised earlier, it's possible that he's the one moving the arm. When we walk up to this cocoon when we've defeated Mohg, we can't interact with it. It doesn't seem to respond to anything, and we certainly can't attack it, which leaves a lot of open questions here. Is Miquella dead? Is he simply just asleep? Is this room for some DLC? Either way, I don't really think there's an end to this story. I think there are a lot more questions that I couldn't find answers to. It helps us see Malenia in a different light. She was a devoted sister, at least to her brother Miquella, not her half-brother Radahn, because clearly they were fighting. I was trying to understand a little bit more as to what caused their war in the first place, but based on what I'd found here, there didn't seem to be any reason. It's possible that Malenia knew that Miquella had been taken from the tree, but yet she still waited there at the foot of it, in the hopes that maybe he would come back for her. He has been stated as being the strongest Empyrean, and yet we haven't really seen him in action. We've barely even seen his character model. I think there's more to his story, and I'm really looking forward to see if they do anything DLC-wise. I just feel so sad every time I uncover the truth between all these family members. It doesn't seem to be a single good outcome for any of them, to be honest. So if you would like to help interpret or put your own findings in the comments below, I would love to read them. And if you have any recommendations for what you'd like me to cover next, please let me know. I'd really like to look into this. It's so fun for me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you'll tune in to my next video. Bye bye.